Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm talking about Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, looking at what's happened in its 5-year-long run, and answering the question, is it worth watching in 2018? So join me in a Quinjet, strap yourself in, and let's jump into the wild ride that is the life of a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This show came out at the beginning of my massive MCU obsession. I'd seen the Avengers the year before and I was blown away by it. It's such a good film. And I'd been watching the rest of the MCU films pretty regularly, but I was looking for my next hit, the new thing. And I found out that was going to be a TV show, so weekly Marvel goodness, and I was really excited. I was also really excited when I heard that Agent Phil Coulson was going to return, played by the ever-charming Clark Gregg, because I'd enjoyed him in the rest of the MCU. I was really excited to see the show. When it started, it gave us a fair bit. It gave us Phil Coulson, a good team, and a great premise. This group of people whose job it is to do the Avengers job when they're off duty. And that's pretty good, and it gave us a lot of fun episodes, and something a lot of shows similar to it, like I'm thinking stuff like Stargate, which has a team, or X-Files, which deals with alien type stuff and mysterious stuff. It gave us references to the MCU, and all of that stuff is really fun, and I liked the first few episodes, but the thing is, it had hints at a story arc, a season arc, and the odd reference, like I said, to the MCU stuff, but it just wasn't enough. Not very much happened, and not very fast either. Until Captain America, The Winter Soldier came out. Now, I assume you've seen both that film and this show, but if you haven't, it's basically spoilers here and out for both of those. But for those of you who've seen it, stick around. You still here? Good, because I think they're gone. You and I could talk about the good stuff. So yeah, The Winter Soldier. When that movie first came out, it brought with it a level of drama and tension and a sense of betrayal to the entire MCU, but especially S.H.I.E.L.D. So much so that from that point on, the very next episode after that movie came out, you didn't really know who you could trust. So now the show had so much more drama and tension and mystery than it previously had. And that all translated into a pace, because those elements of drama and tension and mystery, I'm saying that a lot now, but they carried on into the next few episodes and it connected them all and kept you hooked for the rest of season 1. Going into season 2, the show managed to maintain that, but in a very different way. At the end of season 1, they had to deal with the immediate fallout of what had happened and come to terms with the betrayal. After that, in season 2, some time had passed, and they were no longer as powerful as they used to be. The organization of S.H.I.E.L.D. was no longer as powerful. And they also had lost trust from a huge portion of the population and the government, so they had to prove themselves again as the sort of organization that they used to be and that they believed themselves to be, because of course they were betrayed too, not just the people of the world. Gosh. On top of having to rebuild and gain some more trust, they had to fight what was left of Hydra and also follow the trail that was being taken by Hydra while they were pursuing some strange things from around about the time where Hydra was at its most powerful and the Red Skull was around. They were following the path of this really interesting artifact which led to the discovery of individuals, gifted individuals with inhuman powers. So in season 2, there was a lot more flesh on the bones from the start than there was at the beginning of season 1. So there's more going on, more to hook the viewer's attention, and more characters. So looking at the season so far, season 1 started off quite standalone, set up the show, gave us some interesting characters. By the end of that, we find out a lot about those characters. In season 2, we get a bit of drama between, is S.H.I.E.L.D. actually going to survive the ordeal that came from the Winter Soldier? And it also introduced the idea of the Inhumans, which led to apparently a disappointing outcome. I haven't seen Inhumans yet, but I am personally disappointed it didn't end up being the movie that we were told it was going to be in the first place. But that's another subject. That's irrelevant right now. Going into season 3, we get some more substance added to the story per episode, per season arc, where we get to find out that some individuals that we once knew as not Inhuman are in fact Inhumans, and also the news of Inhumans becoming more and more common has gotten out into the general public, and there is a prejudice there which gives the writers an opportunity to put some commentary on prejudice and how people will behave to people who are different than them. And I don't really care what side of the fence you fall on. That does give stories more substance, and that's really cool. The show has grown and developed. And so by this point, they'd figured out how to tell the continuous season-long story, and they'd been able to weave episodes into each other and still tie in with the MCU, which is great. Although I am a bit disappointed with how there is a bit of a detachment on the side of the movies tying in with any of the TV shows. I get the Netflix ones, they're a bit more mature than the movies, but I reckon Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could get away with still tying in with the movies. We'll see. There might be a cameo, especially from Clark Gregg, in Infinity War. I don't know just yet. We'll find out next month. Oh gosh, I'm in March. It's coming out in April. Wow. So after grabbing onto and tackling the idea of this continuous story arc for a whole season, they really refined it with season 4 by having 2. Basically, the first half introduced a very, very cool interpretation of Ghost Rider, and then the second half focused a lot on LMDs. Although that was introduced at the beginning of season 4, so in the Ghost Rider half, or maybe even in season 3, I think they teased it. But anyway, they'd kind of figured out how to avoid dull episodes, or dull half seasons. Because a lot of shows that are 22 episodes long just get to the point where you've seen the same storyline, the same villain, the same characters doing the same thing for too long, for too many episodes. Even if those episodes are okay, it's just samey. They avoided that with this really clever format. So I thought that was a very big tick for season 4, which for me is the best season yet. On that note, I haven't started season 5, but, and here is the answer to the question, is it worth watching in 2018? There's a great cliffhanger at the end of season 4, and I'm very interested. So my answer is yes. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, because season 4 is newer than the rest. I'm just playing it safe. If you haven't seen season 4, just be careful, but I recommend you do jump on board, because here comes the spoiler. Drum roll, although I'm going to do it with my mouth because I'm silly like that. At the end of season 4, they're taken to space. I'm really excited. I'm really interested. And season 5 literally takes it up a level by going to space. A lot of franchises and people joke about, oh, what's next? Space? Well, they've done it. And this could be the introduction of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is something I don't know too much about because, again, a lot of my Marvel knowledge comes from the MCU, although I do kind of feel a bit weird saying MCU because that stands for cinematic, and this isn't in the cinema. But anyway, it comes from the adaptations that we get on screen. So I don't know about S.W.O.R.D, so it's going to be interesting to see if it is S.W.O.R.D. But yes, I wholeheartedly recommend that you check out Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, especially if it disappointed you at first, because it's grown. The creative team has learnt from what they were doing in season 1. I personally don't say what they were doing wrong in season 1, but I feel like they've learned how to add more to it. More drama, more commentary, more action. The action sequences are great. And I've got to be honest, the CGI in this is really, really good. Like, there are times where it's obviously CGI, yes, but to be honest, I watch the DC shows and I adore those as well. But the CW's budget isn't quite the same as ABC's, it turns out, or they don't know how to use it in the same way as these people. So to sum up, I wholeheartedly recommend Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think it's gotten better season by season, and season 4 was the best, and I hope it continues into the next season, and I think you should join me in finding out. But also don't come and yell at me if I'm wrong. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to upload another video as soon as possible. Hit subscribe to see when that comes, and I'll see you all around. Catch you later.